Well, welcome back everyone to Oasis Hill Zoo. Hope you guys are all having the most wonderful of wonderful days. My name is Leaf and it's so great to have you guys back here. This is our little franchise zoo. Hard mode, of course, because we always need a little challenge here. And yeah, so today we are getting started on kind of building for the animals we bought together, actually. A few weeks ago, I want to say. We actually had a little live stream that was super fun. It's really awesome just to have all you guys there. And we kind of chose some animals together for us to kind of throw in here. So we have the fennec fox, which we're building for today. We also have the common warthog, and we also have the Indian peafowl, all kind of representing kind of like farm animals, kind of. And we're kind of building a little kind of shanty western town off of this. I'm super excited about this. I hope you guys really enjoy it. It's going to be such a little fun project for us to do. And yeah, that's really about it. So welcome everyone. Hope you guys are all doing great. And you can see us getting to work on the actual holding for this building. We're not doing anything too crazy. I kind of split these habitats up into 3 rows. You can kind of see it right there. As we make our way throughout here, I'm still using these tried and true little kind of like western stucco walls. I really do love the style of these. They came out super awesome. So we kind of make use of all of these as best as we can and kind of continue this vibe throughout here. While the walls are relatively low, I do have a moat in between them. So that at least takes into account like some like the safety precautions that we would take if this were a real zoo. Of course, we're playing franchise, so it's not really realistic in the slightest, but we're still having a lot of fun with it, so I hope you guys enjoy it nonetheless. Now, as we kind of make our way throughout here, I always love to build in sections. This is easily one of my favorite styles of building. I like to do the terrain first. So I start off with the terrain paints with like the terrain elevations and stuff. Then I move on to smaller details with the rocks. The rocks are really just terrain part 2 in my eyes. It really helps to elevate the habitat a lot more, and it helps to guide you as to where you should be putting stuff. And then I follow up the natural rocks with my faux rocks. These guys are kind of acting as real rocks. I color them, I kind of color match them so that they can really fit the vibe of this area. And I essentially play around with them a little bit more. And I kind of put them kind of like on the borders of those other rocks, just so that we have like these nice small pebbles and stuff like that. I ended up throwing these guys into the habitat just so I could actually get a frame of reference as to how big it is. It is quite big for a fennec fox habitat, but I don't really mind it all too much. I think it looks pretty awesome as is. Just because I don't really build like this too often, as you guys probably can guess from like, you know, my channel and stuff like that. I like to build a lot more realistic builds, which oftentimes means smaller habitats. And yeah, this is kind of the time where I'm like, alright, I'm playing with Frontier's rules over here. I get to kind of build a little bit bigger, build a little bit more fun, a little bit more funky, and I have a lot of fun with it too, so that's really awesome. So making our way throughout here as well and using the most of our desert foliage palette. I'm using a lot of different foliage in here. I'm using some plants from the North America pack that Nick made. I believe it's called the Frontier pack, yes. I'm also using these kind of covered wagons. I made these way back in the day. Easily one of my first videos on YouTube is Blackstone Zoo, and I actually had these guys in the North America area. So I really suggest you guys check out that if you really want to see like old Leaf back when he had like, you know, a couple like probably 30 or 40 subscribers. Now look at us, we're at 10,000. That's pretty insane to say. Now making our way throughout here, we're using the Siberian pea shrubs. I don't really use these guys all too much, but I'm going to start to use them in this area a little bit. I feel like they bring a little bit more color, a little bit more texture in here. And I'm also adding trees in here as well. I'm not done with the foliage just yet, but I'm adding like the Sudanese frankincense trees. They're really awesome for desert palettes. I also use like the manzanita bushes, I think. And I also add a small roof over here. Nothing too insane. I just really wanted to make sure that, you know, it's at least a little bit covered. Maybe our foxes need a little bit of shade. I know that they tend to sleep a lot in zoos, so I want to make sure they have a nice little area to do that in. What I also do over here is just make sure that this kind of roof awning is structurally sound. So we kind of use these beams, we duplicate them on themselves, and then we angle it up to kind of match the roof. I also try and finish up some more foliage, trying to copy as much stuff from like the Przewalski's wild horse habitat as possible. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys all in the live portion. See you there. Alright, I don't even like that tree right there. We're gonna change that. Hello everyone, welcome back. I know, a little bit weird. We kind of started off with the speed build and then bumped right into the live portion. I don't really do that too often, but I think it's a fun little change. So welcome everyone. I'm just doing some kind of like last minute finishing touches over here. Hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of speed build right over there. Right now we are working on our little Fennec box enclosure, which will look at these guys. This is why I always love like franchise. I actually get to take the time to look at these animals while they're actually doing stuff. I know, that's crazy, right? But yeah, I figured we might as well build for these guys. Nothing really too crazy. I figured I would have this be kind of like a carriage house kind of thing. So I think I'll even double this up right here, so we could have another one that they could kind of hide in. I think that'd be super cute. Moving these just a smidge to get rid of the Z fighting, so that is gonna look good. But yeah, those are just like a nice little carriage house right over there. And I think I'll add another bush right here, just help keep this place looking a little bit more vibrant. And that's pretty much it for this habitat. These guys have all their kind of requirements already set. Enrichment is looking pretty good, their population's looking great. And it's nothing really too crazy for a fennec fox habitat. Ideally, they wouldn't really escape. I don't really see too many outdoor fennec fox enclosures. I don't think I've ever seen one, believe it or not. But I really hope this is what they would kind of vibe with. In addition to that, we're also going to be working our way down throughout this little strip over here. And what I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to start organizing these guys into like kind of rows, if that makes sense. Ideally, this is what I would like to kind of go with in terms of like the kind of style of this area. Because I do want to keep these guys very much on brand with the animals that we kind of chose before. So that's going to be the peafowl and warthog habitats, which we're going to make in the next episodes. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff. They're going to have their own little buildings and stuff. And you can already see we're starting to make our way down this little strip. And I already want to do some foliage work over here, so we could kind of do this a little bit together. And I think what I'll also do is add another door right here so it actually feels like it makes sense. So I'll kind of tuck that in right there. And you may notice that this is kind of sticking out right a little bit right over here. So I'm going to flip this door over here so we don't have any repeating textures all too much. And we'll just tuck it in right there. And what I'll actually do is remove that one right there. So that is looking pretty good so far. But I do want to do a little bit more foliage work. So I'm going to take our nice little saltwort bushes and kind of decorate this a little bit more. Help it feel a lot more natural. And help it feel a lot more bright. Because we always should be bringing in these nice bright colors into all of this. And yeah, it'll just look super awesome in the end. We'll tuck a few of them right in there. And I feel like this is definitely something you would see in a zoo or even a Wild West town. It's like these nice, very much foliage surrounded areas. And I think I'll even bring a palm tree right over here. I feel like that would be something really nice to have. Just helps bring out this area a lot more. It helps it feel a lot more lived in, if that makes sense. And what I'm also going to do is just take this time to cover up this area right here. And really help it feel like, you know, you're not really supposed to see that area. You're not really supposed to have your eye look over there. Because obviously it's a staff area. We don't really want them to look into staff areas all too much. What I'll also do is do that same little trick back right over here so that we could hide a door right here, because that would be very important to have. And it looks super good to begin with, so that is really awesome right there, and that's our staff path right there. So, you know, they can get to the rhinos. I was about to say orangutans for some reason. Probably because they kind of sound the same. I don't really know. We should also probably add some, like, benches and stuff over here. This is just a nice little boardwalk kind of area. I did use the fences for the ground path over there, so that explains why I have all that going on right there. And I should probably use our African benches that we kind of been using throughout here. I think that would be a super awesome thing to have. We just have a few of these throughout here, just help brighten up the area a little bit. Help it feel like it's more of a zoo, if that makes sense. I'm going to turn free build on right there. Again, you can get free build by just going to the modding server and looking in the modding general pinned. You should be able to find it right there, and that should be super easy. I like that dude's hat. Look at his hat. He's looking mighty swanky. The wild dog one I don't really care for, but I like the spider one. It's kind of funky. But that is pretty much it for all this jazz. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Nothing really too crazy in terms of management. I did a little bit of it off camera, just to take care of some things, just because I didn't really want to bore you guys with that. But I will do a little bit of work on our Fennec foxes, so we can get any more enrichment that these guys may need. Other than that, our animals are not looking too good. Okay, maybe we could actually do some work over here. My biggest problem with these guys is that their space always gets messed up. I don't know what's happening with that, but every single time I just gotta move this. Maybe just like angle it up a little bit more. And then their kind of area gets fixed just a smidge. It really doesn't fix it all the way, which is very much a crying shame. But I'm not sure. I think we should definitely rehome some of these animals, though. Definitely gotta do some of these guys. Just make sure that, you know, they can have a nice end-of-life care and stuff like that. So, just doing that for kangaroos as well. And I think we should be alright. We only have like 1 or 2 animals that can get stressed out, but he's going to his little corner right there, so that is looking fine. Where you have a few protesters, which isn't too good, but we shouldn't really worry about those guys too much, because we can't let the bad vibes get to us. What I also want to do over here, back in our little area, right over here, is maybe get some education going. I feel like we don't have enough education, but I think we could actually save that for our next episode. Again, I think I'm going to do another speed build over here, so we're probably going to get our warthogs in here in the middle, and then our peafowls right over there. Nothing too crazy, and really just help bring this strip to life. But all that being said, we'll end it on this nice little Fennec fox habitat. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are always the best. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode of Oasis Hills Zoo, and I can't wait to see you guys then. So take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye-bye now.